Happy Mother's Day! My name is Noemie
And I'm Sharnikya Howard.
and we are sister friends.
Yes,
And
indeed.
and we are sharing a little bit about us through this Happy Mother's Day podcast.
We're sharing a lot. It's for the mothers, the aunties, the godmoms, the ones that have a tribe, that are looking for a tribe, that are open to new experiences, that are
Anxious and curious about life.
Yeah, it's for you.
Yep. But we also want you to share your perspective on what we're talking about. So we welcome you along this ride. Happy Mother's Day! Happy Mother's Day! This is the third time we said this, guys. Happy Mother's Day, boo.
Happy Mother's Day.
So today, first of all, welcome. Welcome to the Happy Mother's Day
Thanks.
podcast. We never introduced ourselves.
Oh, shoot.
Hi,
Hey,
guys.
girl, hey. I'm Beyonce.
Shit. The Beyonce. The Beyonce. Hi, guys. We're not going to do it because we didn't do it with any of them. Happy Mother's Day. Welcome back to the Happy Mother's Day podcast, where we talk about all the things related to all the things.
Everything, as they say in the DMV.
Yeah, and we're just some really good girlfriends that have decided to share life with each other.
Yeah.
And we're here documenting the entire process. So today, we are going to talk about outside opinions and how that influences our lives. Everybody got one. Everybody wants to share theirs. But I don't know. Dealing with outside opinions, has that been an issue for me? It has. As much as I don't want to admit it, I think it has. I think it shapes a lot of the things that, we choose to do and we choose not to do. On a, I guess, not as serious example, we were just talking about how I just moved into my house. And, because we kind of show our life on social media, a lot of people are like, oh, are you going to hire an interior designer? Are you going to do all these things? Like, I'm sure, I remember somebody said when we first shared that we were building a home, be like, oh, I'm sure your mansion is going to be beautiful. No, what? Like, now I feel pressure. You know what I mean? Especially because we shoot out of our home. I'm like, my house has never looked like a model home. As much as I would like for it to, we just don't live a model home lifestyle.
Yeah.
So I will say that I've felt, pressure, creating certain rooms and making them look a certain way. And I was just telling Shar that, like, we have like a living room in the front. And I wanted to turn that into like an office, but I also wanted to create space for like the girls to be in the room. Like, I wanted it to be more of a homey, workable space than like a space that's just for show.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I would love, like I said, I would love to have like that model home, like home out of a magazine kind of look, but I don't think it'll work.
But who's to say your home isn't the model home?
That is
right. It's that outside. Yeah, your home it's lived. It's happy. It's peaceful. There's shoes at the door. It's welcoming. As soon as I walk in, I kick my shoes to the left because that's where all the shoes are. So why isn't that the model?
I never thought about it that way.
It's the outside opinions that impact our decisions, and they really don't have a place.
Yeah.
So I am impacted, or at least I have been over the years, by the thoughts of others, especially when I was like dealing with wanting to be perfect in everything in every way. And so I know that for many, sometimes that's perpetuated in the home, or with social media, things come up. I've dealt with it by remembering, who I am and what I want for myself, and allowing that to guide me as I make decisions. I remember it coming up with like my parenting, like, me choosing to breastfeed Queenie, and none of the women in my family had done that. And they did not want to necessarily see me doing it.
Wow.
And I remember
that's an added layer to that.
That's an added layer. And just, not shying away from the decision that I made and making whomever feel uncomfortable, or they would have to learn how to get comfortable with the decisions that I was making. So that was one example, like in motherhood. But even, I touched on it a little bit, like growing up, my mom didn't say a lot. I knew she wanted me to go to the government. So even, that her input in that space, again, it wasn't a lot of pressure, but you feel like there's this inherited pressure that forces you to at least entertain some of the outside opinions as you make decisions, like especially going into adulthood and then motherhood, around like where you should be at a certain age, or for me, I'm dating, it's beautiful, it's peaceful, but I am not like, I don't want to get married. I'm just going to say it. You're like, just say it.
I know.
I that's how I feel today, right? I am not like, oh my God, we have to get married. But then there are these outside opinions from friends who love me very much.
I've accepted the fact that you don't want to get married.
She has, but there are plenty that have not. And they have this idea of what my life should look like, or, their opinions. I have one child. I'm very happy with that. I enjoy that. Well, you should have another. There's this great guy, so for me, it's that. Those are the opinions now. It's not around like my career and education. It's like my life as a woman and what happens next. And, my little sister, I love my baby sister so much. But this one wants this married life for me so badly that this one will send me memes like this reminded me of you too. And I'm
Is she married?
No. And I'm like,
she's living vicariously through you.
Just relax. Like there are other things, that is not, so outside opinions for me right now look like that. That's where the emphasis is in my life.
Yeah, I was one of those friends, I admit. But what helps me accept that? I've had a lot of conversations with my mom. We were talking offline about just all the gems that my mom, I don't know, it's something about our relationship ever since I became a mother that was rocky at first, but now it's like, I feel like some of like the mom stuff, I just roll like whatever. But we have some like really good conversations because she's been in a serious relationship for quite a few years. I think Emery's entire, at this point, I don't even know how long it's been, but it's been long. And I asked her, she said something about, she's like, yeah, I'm not sure if I want to get married. And I just asked her why, not like a pressure thing. And she's just like, because I'm happy. She's like, when you get married, it changes, the relationship, it changes the dynamics, it changes the expectations. My mom lives on her own. Her boo lives on his own. They come together sometimes, sometimes they're together every day and sometimes they're not, and I'm just like, okay, like what? Okay.
It's beautiful.
I get it. And I see how happy you guys are. Yeah. And like, y'all are going to do what's best because it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Whatever is best for y'all is best for y'all. I'm going to be here anyway. Yeah. I'm going to be here anyway. But no, you saying that and just the topic of outside opinions, I've really been struggling with people's expectations of what my career should look like now. I know we didn't talk about this before, but it just came into my mind. Ever since I left, a lot of people are like, so what's next? What are you going to do? And I just feel like, one, what I'm going to do or what I'm doing, I've been doing. Like I've been building this business, but I think because it doesn't look like the way people expected it to look, because I'm not going into a traditional office, because I don't have traditional hours, or mainly because I'm working behind the scenes. That's something that has always bothered me, and not always, but especially recently have bothered me, is because I think that there's this expectation that, or maybe not expectation, but a warped understanding that if you're working behind the scenes, you're not working as hard as the person that's the face of the organization. And in this case, it's my husband and I. We're the only two people that work. My husband is very front facing, and I do I would even say almost all of the, behind the scenes work. And I work really, really hard. And I think because I have a platform, people are pushing for, well, you need to do brand deals and you need to do all of those things. And I really struggled with that. Yeah. And I really
I remember that because you were really considering it. And maybe you'll go back to it, but there was that pressure to do it. I wasn't sure where it came from, but
it came from people, people's questions. And I think people who also don't really understand the social media, the business of the social media industry. It really just isn't pose for a picture and then move on. It's all day shoots, it's strategy. Like you can put money into content that doesn't make money. There's organic content, there's sponsored content, there's, content that builds your brand. Like we don't make money off of these photo shoots. But it's just a way to add visibility. You know what I mean? So I think that it is something that I'm still struggling with. I don't think it's something that I will continue to struggle with moving forward once I kind of figure out what it is that I want to do outside of everybody's opinions. Yeah. Because I'm not sure yet. I don't really know what I'm going to end up doing. And like we said in a previous episode, I'm just following whatever God tells me to do.
And then for you specifically though, because you're on social media, people can comment. I'm sure you may not have time to read them all, but
I read them all.
You do.
I do.
So, but then how do you filter the noise? Like how do you decide, what you're going to allow into your spirit, into your space, and perhaps make decisions, but it might be a good suggestion. Yeah. Like, how do you know?
I think that I'm always doing like perspective shifts. The way I look at it, even if they're not as helpful or not as kind, comments, I still look at it as you took the time to click on my page, to go to a post, to go to a comment, to say something. I hit you in some way, positive or negative. So I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but I also know what I put out. You know what I mean? And if those comments are like that, I kind of take it as more of something that you need to get out because of whatever you're going through. I don't really internalize negative comments. I am often open to suggestions. Like I remember there were a few comments about people saying like, I want to see more of you. Like I want to see more of your day because I am scared to be scared is the wrong word. Being on camera isn't as comfortable as I think it appears. She don't believe me. Look at her face. It's true
She's
though.
She's such a natural.
Just
I was in the room like, I'm nervous. Oh my God.
I bet you don't sound nervous right now. But this is the thing. Just because you're good at something doesn't necessarily mean that you enjoy. No, I enjoy doing it. I also enjoy the thrill of things. I like going on what do they call it? Roller coasters. Like I like the thrill of things, but
I get that. That was good.
And it's not as comfortable, but I don't mind being pushed. And I don't mind doing things that aren't as uncomfortable if I feel like it's serving a purpose. Yeah. Like I'm not here because I always thought that I would have a podcast and I would, I'm here because I feel like I'm called to be here. And I feel like if it were easy, if it were easy, I wouldn't take it as seriously. Yeah. So I do take this, I take this seriously. But yeah, I would say that like on social media, the negative comments don't bother me at all. And no one has said anything to me that I haven't already heard.
So I remember, transparent.
Tell me.
I might change my mind and say, edit this out. Okay. But I remember when our friend Mick has this amazing balloon.
She's
decorating bit. Like she is amazing.
So dope.
Magnificent. And no, Moments by Mick. That's her, because Magnificent.
Yeah. And don't follow me. That's her personal page. Leave her alone.
Magical Moments by Mick?
No, just Moments
by Mick. Yes. And Mick shared, I think it was something around his birthday.
Yeah.
Get torn around whether to share people's children's names and all that. Her son's birthday. And she was being very transparent because it was fabulous. I mean, everything she does is fabulous.
The one that was on the rooftop?
But she was sharing the cost breakdown.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, she was sharing the cost breakdown. And she's so kind and graceful. I mean, don't play with her, though.
She's the best.
But some folks were And what's so odd is this. Let me say this. Well, no. Let me just keep going.
Okay.
So she shared the cost breakdown so that people understand what goes into some of these things. And I think it was maybe $10,000. I don't know. We're just going to throw out that number. And some folks were like, "Oh, okay, cool. Thanks for sharing. It's good to know." Some were like, "Well, I hope he has a 529 and
the comments were nasty.
Not all of them. Not all of them. Were. And see, this is why, for me, it is really good that most of the time I don't have time because I had time. And when I have time, it is not always good. So one of the comments, I don't even think I shared this with her.
But I don't know what's about to happen. Were you a mama bear right now? Yes. Let me prepare myself.
But what happened? Privately, one of the comments was so nasty that I reached out to the young lady to say,
I don't know this. What you say, girl?
I was very nice, I think. But I was just letting her know that some people are able to do these things because they've made certain decisions for themselves and their families. And if you would like to do the same, let's chat. But she was so nasty. But she responded very kindly to me. But
so what did she say in the comment?
Oh, she was, it was just like, she was basically saying, I bet he doesn't, or she didn't. Yes. And I'm just like, okay, girl.
Settle down.
Yeah. But this is why it's good for me not to have time.
I don't think you did anything wrong. I think I'm happy that you did it. And I think some people need to hear that.
Yeah.
I think some people need to hear that. I think that I'm not even going to go into like Twitter fingers and, like social media personalities, but like, if the message didn't hit you, maybe it's not for you. Yeah. And that's okay.
Yeah.
That is the fact that social media even exists, you can find your space. You can find a space that speaks to you. You can find a space where you aspire to be. And I just feel like there's such a negative connotation about social media because of those people. But I bet you there's so many people that's like, wow, I was too embarrassed to ask. I've been that person that, remember we did we got the party planner for the baby shower.
Yes.
And remember how hesitant I was?
Yeah.
And I think for me, I was that person that would be embarrassed to ask, well, how much does this cost? I probably can't afford this. I probably can't do this, so I'm not even going to ask. So I think that transparency that she showed and that a lot of people on social media show, it's also for people like me who may want to do these certain things and they just don't have the people or the courage to just ask. Yeah. And I think it's totally okay for something to not be a cup of tea.
For sure. And you have to filter out those opinions on social media, in your family, at work, in your girlfriend circles, in the group chats.
Everybody got an opinion.
Everybody has an opinion. And everybody can tell you how to do it. They ain't never done it.
Yeah. That is so true. Girl. It's usually the person that has never done it that is telling you that you can't do it.
That you can't do it.
How you know? You don't know.
So what... Actually, another question. I feel like I'm interviewing you right now.
I love being interviewed.
This path that you have taken is so different from the rest of I know your family. So, and when because we're talking about like how to navigate like the different opinions, when you said, not necessarily to when you said to your dad, like, I'm no longer going to practice law in this way. I'm going to be a full-time content creator. Whoa, can we take a step back?
Please.
When you said to your mom and dad, Kira's a content creator, were they like, what is that? What do you mean? What is his,
Let me even take it a step further back.
A licensed therapist. Yes. But I'm just saying, when you add that part.
So when we decided to do content, not become full-time content creators, but just like put anything out in the internet, I didn't tell nobody. I didn't say anything. I don't know if scared was the word.
Because when we met, you all weren't, I think Kira was posting, but...
No, we were posting.
Were you too?
So we became big because of stuff on my page. And then it got too big. I was like, you take it. Like, you take it. But yeah, so we started we have this YouTube series called The Sit Down Talk, and it is an honest talk about couples counseling, everything that we learned in premarital counseling, our fights, just the entire cycle of our relationship. We put all our business out on the streets pretty much. And we started the Sit Down Talk in 2018. So it became really big. We were doing videos, but nobody was really watching them. But then our engagement video went viral. And that's when people started, watching. We started getting like thousands and thousands of views. So my parents didn't know what I was doing at all. So like they kind of looked at it as, oh, we see baby Emery on the internet. She's so cute, blah, blah, blah. Because we started doing day in the life vlogs first. So we weren't talking about our relationship. Once we started talking about a relationship and gaining momentum, I don't remember my mom having any strong opinions about it, but my dad did. And it was just like, what are you doing? Like, why are you putting, and it wasn't just him, it was a lot of people, even some of my friends was like, why are you putting your business out there? And I think that I think it's wrong to stop yourself from doing things because of outside opinions. But I do think that it's helpful to at least hear what they are. And then you decide what you want to do with that. Mm-hmm. Because originally it wasn't all nice comments. It was just like, I would never share this about my life and blah, blah, blah. But that was actually the reason why we did it. I shared it because nobody talked to me about marriage. Nobody even told me to go to premarital counseling. Mm-hmm. The only reason why we went is because we had an unplanned pregnancy during a time where our relationship was rocky, and I knew people had been in similar situations, but I didn't know how they overcame some of the obstacles that they were in. And had I known that this was normal, one, I wouldn't have put as much pressure on myself. I was kind of not disappointed in the sense that I wanted this certain family unit and I didn't have it, but I was unhappy with things that everybody told me that I should be happy about. I was in a relationship with my child's father. We were working towards something, but I wasn't completely happy in the relationship. I still had a lot of resentment. And that kind of goes back to when you complain to stuff to your friends. They're like, well, at least he's there. At least he's faithful. At least he's helping. And it's like, I don't just want another body in the house. I don't just want, you know what I mean? I wanted a partner. I wanted a relationship. I wanted, what we have now. And I don't think that we would have been there had we not had those honest conversations. And the biggest part about the sit down talk for me is now I can see myself. Now I can hear what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Now I can hold myself accountable. So even though the majority of the comments at that time was like, what are you doing? You're not supposed to put your business out there. You're not supposed to let people in your relationship. It actually helped my relationship. And I feel like the people that are still there from 5 years ago, it helped them too. We wouldn't have grown to where we are. So that's why I'm saying outside opinions don't bother me as much, but my father's did. My father was just like, he was embarrassed. Yeah. And I actually had a friend, we're not friends anymore, and she said that it embarrassed her. That me sharing, she was like, it's embarrassing. People are laughing at you. That's exactly what she said to me. I was like, let them laugh.
I know.
I'm like, who's laughing? I think you do.
Yeah.
I think you do. I mean, she's not in my life
anymore.
Yeah, no. But yeah, and I was just like, in my mind perspective shift, I was like, I have never met anyone whose relationship that I admire or has given me good advice tell me that what I'm doing is wrong. So I'm sure that there are people that think that what I'm doing, is wrong, but I feel good about it. I feel like it's helped my relationship. I felt like it helped my friendships. It helped me as a mother. It's helped me as an individual. Yeah. And I'm really speaking from the heart because nobody told me. And I feel like we need to share these stories.
Absolutely. Yeah. All the stories.
So I don't know if that's a success story about outside opinions, but, we don't live on an island.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to have an opinion. It's going to affect you in some way, whether you choose to filter it out or not. It's there. Yep. It's what you choose to do with it that I think.
And I don't know. If the more you make decisions for yourself and trust those, relying on those around you that are really pouring into, how to filter. You start to learn how to better filter out the noise that comes with the negative, the negative opinions and all of those things.
Yeah.
I presume.
Listen,
what do I know?
You know a lot. Are you kidding?
I know a little bit about a little bit.
This was your
Remember
idea.
That from Bad Boys? I don't know a lot about a lot.
Yeah,
a little bit about a little bit.
I
Yeah.
This.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like you know a lot. You know a lot more. This is what it is. We talked about like, what motherhood has taught us, what life has taught us. Life in general is like we don't know anything, but I feel like you surrender. You follow your gut and you move.
There are things that we do know. And we can hold on to. There are some things that
and there are things that feel good.
Yeah.
I feel like, I think people a lot of the times we look at like external things as, and I'm definitely one of these people. I seek external validation. I'm not, I feel like I have to bounce ideas off of now my wise counsel, but it wasn't always like that. Bounce my ideas off of other people to validate my decisions. And now that I'm noticing, like we always talk about like a moral compass that's internal, right? It's not just morality. It's just like the way of life. How are you going to live your life? What moves are you going to make? And I feel like for me, it's like if in my gut, I get this tingly, really excited feeling, I'm jumping at it. And I've recently started to do that, and it's helped me so much in like not having to, I still, validation is a thing for me. It's a constant thing that I talk about in therapy. Like it's not something that I feel bad about anymore. Like there's something inside of me that seeks validation, but understanding that it's like, I might still be uncomfortable, but whatever this tingling feeling inside of me is telling me to do, I'll do anyway. I'm going to just do it. I'm like, not everybody's going to like what I do, but I'm going to feel good about my decision.
It's peaceful.
It's so peaceful.
I think, and that's
so peaceful.
That's how it should be. I mean, not saying that life is just always filled with complete peace.
It's not.
Yeah, that is the goal, the aspiration.
But you can choose peace. Yeah. Did I learn that from you? I think I learned that from you.
No, but that was good.
I mean, but that's how you live your life. We're going to just keep giving each other compliments. Take the compliment. And I'll take the compliment too. We're growing. We're growing together.
We're growing. Yeah,
we're growing together. Was it you who taught me about wise counsel? Or it could have been Michelle Obama. It could have been. I feel like I got it from her.
Well, we learned a lot from Michelle. Honey.
I mean, we don't know her in real life, but she in the room somewhere. Her spirit, the essence of Mrs. Obama is in here. Absolutely. But I think it was her, and I think it's like the way that you live your life and the decisions that you make and the people that you take with you. Yeah. Like she has wise counsel. Those are like her girlfriends. And it's not just,
I call those my backstage friends.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. I guess we all have like a version of that. I like that. I like that so much.
Those are those who, my innermost. You know, I can be vulnerable. I can share. Even if I choose not to, I can.
Do you feel, I'm kind of going off topic, but do you feel like you've been in situations where outside opinions have actually propelled you further?
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. So
I feel like you're excited to share this.
I'm so excited to share. I'm glad you asked that. So when I was at Bennett, it was what should have been my senior year. And I had done internships every year. So even the year before going to Bennett, I did an internship. And they were pretty good. I was a comp sci major. So they were pretty decent internships. But I get to my senior year, and my professor, Martha Hagler, one of my computer science teachers, she said, I know you're ready to go, but you need one more. You need one more strong internship. And I'm like, what? It is time to go. Like my student loans are mounting, lady. And I didn't want to do it. I prayed about it. I called one of my best friends, Maya. She prayed with me in the parking lot right outside of the computer science hall. Or it wasn't, it's the like science
building,
the science building, whatever. And so we prayed about it. And then Maya, she was like, now do what feels peaceful. And that's where this really started, this whole peace thing. This was my friend Maya. And we were young, talking about peace.
I know, like, how would you, like 20?
But that was, that was my spiritual, like, confidant. And she had been since I was a little girl, right? And we met in church. And so I prayed about it, and so I was like, all right, I'm going to interview and do that. So I had 3 offers. And so that was the first thing, was she told me I needed to stay an extra year and do
a year.
Yeah, and do a summer internship. And I said, so that was the first thing, right? And that was the first outside opinion in terms of where I would go from an education and career perspective. And so I did. And then, so I went through the interview process. I had 3 offers. One was in North Carolina, one was in New Jersey, and one was in DC. And I wanted to either stay in North Carolina, I had an apartment, or I wanted to just be in DC. I could just stay with my mom and do the internship. She said, you need to go to New Jersey. And I'm like, I don't know anything about New Jersey. And they want me to live on Rutgers campus. Like,
New Brunswick.
I'm like, I don't want to go. She said, that's where you need to go. And I went. Changed my life.
What? I didn't know you were in New Jersey.
Yeah.
I'm a Jersey girl, by the way, so I'm shocked.
Yes, I know all about the jug handles and they pump your gas and all the things.
That's what everybody says about Jersey. Yes, they pump your gas.
And it was one of the best summers. The relationships I built professionally during that time really helped propel my career. I still have those relationships. So it's so funny. I emailed her yesterday and told her that she changed my life. I was like, you telling me to do that. I did not want to do it. And she said some things that made me cry via email, but that was an outside opinion. And then one of my mentors, Stephanie Moore, who has really helped me, like, from a career perspective, I just trust her. I trust, how her leadership and her guidance. She's never steered me wrong. And then there are some outside opinions that just do not matter.
Yeah. How do you how do you know whose opinion? I just feel like it's such an easy question to ask. And there are some, sometimes it's obvious that you shouldn't be listening to this person's opinion. But is there a time where someone, in your heart, felt like that they were coming from a good place, but even though it's positive, like maybe not even positive, but even if it's coming from somebody who you trust, who's like, yeah, I'm not going to listen to that?
My mom. But with going the government route, right? Or, you sure you want to breastfeed, or why are you still breastfeed? There are things, people have good intentions. Yeah. And I love that little lady. But there's
a little lady.
Yeah, she's a little lady. But there are certain things that I'm doing that she cannot comprehend.
Yeah.
But there are also, I have some spiritual advisors too. I love and respect, and some things that they share, or that they want me to do, I'm like, I don't think I'm called to do that.
Yeah.
And I just take it with a grain of salt, and I put it in my pocket.
Yeah.
I'm not going to throw it away. I'm going to put it in my pocket. Who knows how it will show up later. And then there are some opinions, and I'm just going to say it, that just don't matter. And some of those opinions come from family and friends.
Yeah.
And they just don't matter. It doesn't mean that something else that they offer won't matter, but
just in this particular situation,
it doesn't matter. And I filter it based on the individual.
Yeah. You've taught me that.
Yeah. And I am it's the message and the messenger. And the delivery. And the
that
delivery. Yeah. Because if my intention is not to hurt you, I'm not going to hurt you. So I don't have to say, I don't mean to be rude. I don't have to say that, because I'm not going to be rude.
Yeah.
Or I don't mean to hurt your feelings. No. If you don't mean to hurt my feelings, then your words are careful. You're speaking from your heart, where all the goodness,
you're speaking from a place of love.
Yeah. So that's how I filter it. Where is it coming from? And delivery matters.
Yeah.
Choose your words.
I'm learning that. I never thought about delivery. I've always focused on who it came from. And I just feel like that's, I mean, you know the ins and outs of everything that I've been going through, but that has been, like, maybe I do need to do a better job at filtering it out, because I do read all the comments, on the internet. I read them all. And I think it comes from a validating space. I'm not afraid to say that that's something that I need, but yeah, you're right. Everybody's opinion doesn't matter. And like I was telling you how the what's next conversation really bothers me. Like really, really bothers me. I think I'm ready to let it go.
But, and can you imagine though, even with our children, when we talk about like how the delivery piece, like I have a mentoring program, and it's not that these girls don't want to connect with their mom, it's the delivery. Why are you yelling? But I get it. I get it. Work is a lot. Co-parenting, parenting, it's a lot. And so sometimes your delivery isn't what you would like it to. I get it, but it matters. And it matters in all of our relationships. And so if I said, because I love you and I want the best for you and your family. And if I said, so what's next? What are you thinking? I know you're enjoying the moment, but you're kind of always looking, that would land differently.
Yeah, even right now it does. Like, I don't see how you asking that is related to this at all. I was like, girl, what?
Right, but the delivery matters. It really matters, and where it's coming from.
Yeah.
It matters. And so I say that to say, I'll bring that up to say, that's how I filter the opinions.
Yeah.
Like, where's this person's heart on it? Even a stranger, because a stranger can pour into you and they can speak to you. So, especially an old little lady at church after service.
Yes.
I mean, can speak to you. So even when she's checking you, when that heart is in the right place, or, I remember in my church, my pastor, saying to the other gentlemen and the elders, like, don't ask the young men to take their hat off, because y'all not doing it right.
Because it's coming from a place of judgment.
Yes. So it all matters. Yeah.
I love that.
That's how I filter, or at least I try to.
This was a read for me. This was a lesson for me. I mean, I think a lot more people are struggling with this than you think. And I think we talked about it a lot more just with social media and accessibility. People are accessible from wherever. I can have somebody from middle of Timbuktu hit me up and say, I saw this and these are my thoughts. So I think in a way it is great to be able to reach out to a lot of people, but to protect yourself and to protect your spirit, I think it's like a discernment. It's a level of discernment.
Oh, I have another question.
Yeah. Okay.
This is your interviewing. Okay. Because you have to be on social media a lot. It is your business.
It's my job.
Do you ever need to take a break? Like, I've heard of people, and I've actually worked with some, I get to coach women too, and sometimes women take breaks from social media, like full on breaks, and then they come back, or they might not ever come back. Like, have you ever had to or thought about it?
I take breaks often. I think I'm also in a very interesting part of my career where I don't have to be on social media every day, and I'm not. Like, there are months where I've posted 3 times in the entire month. So I think for me, because I have that flexibility, I can pre-schedule my posts, batch content, post it, and then dip.
Got it.
It's actually what I still do. So what I do now is whenever I have like a scheduled post, I'll post it. I'll hang around for a couple of minutes just to make sure there are no troubleshooting issues. And then I'll come back to it later. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or if it's something that, I do share a lot of like emotional things about my children, things about like, how I'm really feeling. In those cases, I don't check the comments, immediately. Or if I see something blowing up and it's like something has 100 comments, then I'll check to see what the vibe is. But I think another thing is when it comes to social media, I don't really post based on what other people want. I post whatever I want. So, and that's something that's like unique about my platform. Sometimes I say, you might see my kids all month, because that's been my priority. You might not see them at all because, you know what I mean? I want to be present with them, or it could be relationship and marriage content heavy. I do recognize that I'm in a unique situation, but I post whenever I feel like it, and I post whatever I feel like posting. So my breaks are often.
Do you ever feel a sense of remorse for anything you post?
No.
Like, why did I post that? Okay.
Remorse is too strong of a word.
Oh, all right.
So I don't even regret. I mean,
because I guess you could always delete it.
Yeah, you can, but I haven't. I've never deleted. I know people who delete things if they don't get a certain amount of likes.
Oh, I don't do.
Yeah, they do.
that. I know nothing of the world
because of the algorithm. Okay. But I am very transparent. Maybe even too transparent. But I don't. I can honestly say that I don't regret
Yeah.
anything that I've posted. Everything that I've posted hasn't always had a positive.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, one of the feedback that I get, not often, but sometimes, is that like people will see like Kira and I's content together and they'll be like, she clearly doesn't care what he says. Look at her face. So like I might like, damn Noemie, why you look like that? But like you do look like you don't care, but I know I don't care. Like, and I always tell Kira, like sometimes I have resting IDGAF face. It's not that I don't care. I'm really just listening. Like that's my listening face looks disinterested sometimes, which you guys might see. I don't know. I don't know what my face looks like right now. So it's not really a regret, but it's not even something that I changed. It's just something that I recognized about myself.
Yeah.
But if you watch enough of my content, like if I don't respect I don't harbor on the opinions of people who obviously don't know me and haven't seen enough of my content to have a judgment about what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because these are still sound bites in someone's it's still edited. You know what I mean? It's such a small blip in a huge ongoing conversation that like I kind of feel like you do have to have kind of tough skin when you're on the internet because things can be so misinterpreted.
Yeah.
But I'm not really pressed.
Okay.
I'm really not.
Next.
Go ahead.
But I mean, it's similar to what you asked me. Like, has anyone ever given you a piece of advice? And I'm sure there are probably plenty, but any that you want to share that like really changed your life? And then have there been any where you were like, what are you talking about? No.
Let me start with the second one. What are you talking about? No, because I feel like that's like very current. Just people trying to tell me what to do with my career. Like some people were really upset about me leaving the law. Like very upset. Like you worked so hard and blah, blah, blah. And I look at it twofold, right? On one hand, people are saying that because of the financial situation that they think that I'm walking away from. And I think the world tends to think that lawyers make so much money and it's like a super it is a lucrative career, but you work for every single dollar that you make. And I think for me it was more about the time and my mental health. Like it's a very stressful, you remember what it was like when I was working and like, did somebody email me? Do I have to write an update? Do I have to do this? And it's just like, that's just stressful. Like I don't mind getting paid less to have more time.
Freedom.
To have freedom, right? And I think that, that's one piece of it. And then two, it's just happiness. Like I think I'm starting to realize how short life is and how like, you're really not guaranteed an extra hour, what I mean, in life. And like, I just want to be in a position where, I'm doing what I feel like I'm supposed to do. And I don't feel like law was something that I was supposed to do. Yeah. I feel like it was necessary. I don't regret the career choice, but I feel like I had to do that to get to where I'm going. And even where I am now. So I guess the answer to that is no, I didn't really listen to them. Like that was okay. Cool. And something positive that somebody said that I didn't follow.
No, that you did, like that changed your life in some way.
My life. Something that changed my life. It's so funny. I think when you think of that question, you think so much of the negative. Something positive that changed my life. I think so. It's twofold. One is you. And I feel like I always think
okay. I did my own mascara.
Fine. She be crying, y'all. But I think it wasn't necessarily something that you said specifically, but it's just a feeling that you gave me. I think for a really long time, I didn't feel like I was a good friend. Like I've always struggled. Girl, hold it together. Hold it together.
Okay. Well, my heart's starting.
I think I've always struggled, not always, because I also tend to I'm a drama queen. But at times I've struggled in whether or not I've been a good friend because I didn't feel like that friendship was reciprocated. And I feel like with you, I have my friends that I've known my whole life. You build those relationships over years, but with new people, I didn't always feel seen in friendship. I felt like those friendships benefited them, but I didn't feel like with you, it's just like, why does she want to be my friend? like, what can I offer? And then you just pouring into me the way that you have, but also I don't feel like I'm something that you had to fix. Like, I feel like we're equals in this friendship. I feel like I can depend on you for anything. Girl. Absolutely. I do. I feel like I can depend on you. I feel like you're a cheerleader in a way that I don't think I've ever had in a friendship. You and Mick. You know what I mean? I think both of you guys. And I think that's so important in adult friendships is to have those people that, you feel equal is the wrong word, but I just feel like, you pour into me in a way that I don't know that I've ever had. So that's why I really, you know what I mean? I really appreciate it. I do. I appreciate you so much.
Likewise.
But I think you just telling me that I'm doing a good job. You know what I mean? You telling me that you admire me, in the way that I'm a mother, you admiring me in my growth, in my relationships. I don't know that a lot of people agree in the way that I prioritize my marriage and my marriage specifically. I love my babies, but I also love my boo. And I want to really cultivate and pour into the relationship the same way that I do into motherhood. And I haven't always gotten the best push to that. And you'll be like, girl, I will take you need to spend time with your man. Y'all need to spend time with each other. And I never had anybody that really pushed me. That. And then also was there. You need to do this. So let me take the kids so you can do that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's been really, really helpful. And then on my mom's side, I think that her kind of pushing me to kind of do my own thing, not do my own thing as far as a business, but to take the time to figure out what I want to do. Yeah, my mom has been she's like, you don't have to figure it out, but just try this and then try that. And if that doesn't work, try that. And for somebody who's like, you got to be a doctor or a lawyer to now be that.
You've taught her.
That's what she says all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what she says all the time.
So now she's learning how to parent you.
Oh, man.
In this stage. And it's changing her. Mm-hmm. That's beautiful.
We have such a great friendship. She drives me nuts. Mommy, I know you're watching me. You drive me crazy. And she'll be the first one to say, we have such a strong relationship, but the shelf life of how long we can be together in one spot is
I think
3 days.
All of us.
Max. Max. And even in those 3 days, it's work days and those 8-hour days within those 3 days. But I think her advice, she's changed her advice to what she would do to now knowing me, what she thinks would serve me best, even if it's something that she would never do.
I love that.
Man, that is the goal that I want to get to with Emery, specifically because she's Sydney is still figuring herself out. I have no idea who she's going to be, but I have a very clear idea of what she's going to be. They show you who they are. But I think with Emery, we can have different kinds of conversations. Yeah. It's such a deeper relationship at this age. I remember I mentioned her on Instagram before, and somebody was just like, I thought she was talking about a teenager this whole time. She pretty much is. She has the emotional capacity, the emotional intelligence of a teenager sometimes.
They're so wise.
It's because of us. Because we cultivate and we create that space for them.
We allow them to be.
Yeah. Ready to land this plane?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, how do you guys deal with outside opinions? And is it similar to the way that I thought about it? When I think about outside opinions, I always think about something negative to the point where I struggled to find a positive, example. I'm really interested to see how that, hits the heart for you guys.
Likewise. Yeah. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. We'll chat soon, guys. Bye.